Hi, Miss Butler's class. This is session 3, Refine Ideas About Multiplication as Scaling. This is page 433 of your big math book. Your learning target is on scaling and specifically comparing the size of the product. Would the product be greater than, less than, or equal to the original factor that we started with? So we're still multiplying fractions, but we're looking at comparisons. So please, on a note card, write your start problem. You have 3 fractions here, 2 over 2, 3/4, and 5/3. You need to figure out which slot would these go in to make the equations or equalities true, okay? I will give you a second to do that. Please pause the video. When you're ready, please unpause the video and I will show the answers. Okay, so I chose 3/4 over here because 3/4 is less than 1 whole. And since it's less than 1 whole, then anytime I multiply in a whole number, the number will be less than the number we originally started with. So that was because 3/4 is not 1 whole. 2 over 2 is 1 whole, but 1 whole is also the same thing. It's just 1. So 1 times 5 would be 5. Now 5/3 is more than 1 whole. And since it's way more than 3, 5/3 would be a greater number than 5. All right. So please review that if you got it wrong so you can make sure you are correct when we move forward. All right, I'm going to go to number 1 now. Number 1, it asks you to analyze. Use reasoning to order the following expressions from least to greatest. Do not calculate any of the products. Explain your reasoning. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to work on that, and then I'm going to show the answers. Please pause the video, and when you're ready to see the answers, you may unpause. All right, so if you put this was the least and this was the greatest and this was equal, you were correct. 7/9 is not 1 whole because 7 does not make up the whole. 9/9 would have. So since 7/9 is smaller than 1 whole, this would be the smallest number. 12/11, 12 is over 11, so that makes it an improper fraction. And since it's greater, then this fraction, this number would be greater. And 50/50ths is also the same thing as 1 whole, so it'd be equal because 1 times this number would make the same number. All right, number 2. I will read it and pause the video, please, and then you can see the answer. Interpret. 2 towns are comparing populations. Town A has 285,310 residents, and Town B has 9/10 and 285,310 residents. To compare the populations of the 2 towns, Jonah said the population of Town A is 9/10 of the population of Town B. Is he correct? Explain your answer. All right, our friend here, Jonah, is not correct because town B is 9/10 of the total amount of residents. That's why we have the X here. X we could also think of. So as we were comparing the two, since 9/10 is not one whole, town B has a fewer amount of residents, so they only have 9/10 less of the residents here. All right, number 3. Gillian said that the product of a given number and a fraction is always less than the given number. Is Gillian correct? Explain and give an example. All right, I will give you time. Please pause. And when you're ready for the answer, please press play. All right, so I put up 2 fractions on the board, okay? So one fraction was 2/3 times 2, and I got 4/3. Now, 4/3 is an improper fraction, but if I divided that out, that would be 1 whole and 1/3. And when I have 10 divided by 3, that would be at least 3 wholes, which is greater than 2. So that is not always true what Gillian is saying, because the number can be greater. As long as the improper fraction that we have is greater over here, we can end up with a greater number as our product. All right, we are going to skip number 4. Try number 5. This is your closing exit ticket. How does 4/4 times 8/5 compare to 8/5? So what they're asking is, what would your answer be? And you need to explain your reasoning. So what would that be? Would that be greater than, equal to, or less than? Please write it down in your book. I will show you the answer. So please pause the video, and when you're ready, I will say the answer. All right, 4/4 times 8/5 would be equal to 8/5 because 4/4 is the same thing as 1 whole, and 1 whole times anything would be itself. All right, that is the end for our lesson. I have a fluency page for you to continue to practice these skills. Once you're done practicing these skills, you may get on iReady. Please try to keep up with your percentages, 80% or higher, and please put a check mark once you complete a lesson. All right, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed our online class.